So we have a later rehearsal tonight. So sometimes Vince and I like to provide like maybe dinner or just a snack for our cast and our stage manager. We're keeping them until 10 p.m. tonight. So I'm just going to go to Publix and pick up some things that I think would, you know, be nice for them to snack on. So here we go. Stage manager texted me and asked me, was I on my way? And I was, but she told me rehearsal starts at 6, not 7. So I'm late. I put everything back at Publix. I hope they brought a snack. I'll hook them up next time. As the director of the show, I have to exclude myself as a woman and as a wife to kind of figure out how to understand this man. So you are explaining something that men, and not just black men, but men need to express, and we're trying to figure this thing out. Like,
I can just sit up in her house and laugh. Do you understand what I'm saying? I can laugh out loud. And it feels good. It reaches down to the bottom of my shoes. Rose, I can't get it.
yes, please follow directions. It looks good and it is powerful. It is powerful. All right, I'm gonna let you keep going. How much time do we have? It was beautiful.
With or without notes? We have 40 minutes total.
I want to keep going.
Okay.
It was beautiful. You have a note? Okay. So, it was so nice. Gosh. All right. Let's do this last line and then we're going to keep going from your... It was so nice. Oh my gosh. I understood him. I don't like it, but I understood him. And that is what we always have to give an audience. We don't have to agree, but man, we understand him. Okay, so then let's go from this line again. So good. How did it feel?
Fantastic.
Okay. It is Sunday, February, I think it's the 23rd. And I'm on my way to rehearsals. Rehearsals begin at 6 o'clock p.m. tonight. And it is 5:30. And I am beat, tired. We had a very long, exhausting weekend. And we rehearsed from 6 until 10. So last year when we finished our show, The Color Purple, Vince and I started to think about shows that I had, you know, some shows on my bucket list. I have shows on my bucket list. And one of the shows that I really wanted to do was a fun show, something funny and fun and light. I tend to choose dramas. So I wanted to choose something light and fun. And the show that I wanted to do is called Little Shop of Horrors. I really wanted to do that show. So Vince chose FENCES, and I was like, I really want to do Little Shop of Horrors. So I ordered the script. There's a perusal script that you get to order when you want to kind of read the script and go over it. Of course, you know the show, but you want to read the script and go over the characters and the songs. And so I read the script of Little Shop of Horrors, and I couldn't do it. Anytime I choose a show, it's important for me that the show has, you know, certain message that line up with my belief system. We went to New York. We were trying to get tickets for it when on Broadway. It was playing on Broadway. It was also playing at a ton of different theaters in Central Florida. So that was another reason why I was like, I don't think that I should do this show. But I really want. So I really couldn't find a thematic message in the Little Shop of Horrors that kind of, you know, sat well with me. I just couldn't find it. And I really still wanted to do the show just because I like the music, and you know, I always like to do my own twist of the show, whether it be in casting or just different things to make it sparkle. And I just could not find a message in the show that, you know, that I agreed with. So I ended up talking to one of my former students. I taught her in middle school and high school theater, and now she is an adult, and she is a director herself. And I was like, Charlie, you know, this is the show I'm thinking of doing. And she says, no, you can't do that show. I was like, daggone it. You know, here's my former student telling me, no, you can't do that show. And so that was my final decision, not to do Little Shop of Horrors. I just, you know, I couldn't find a message that I wanted to, you know, communicate to my audience. And so that is a large part of how I choose to do any project for SparKyL, is that it has to be a message that I want to communicate to my audience. And I have to, you know, it doesn't mean that I have to agree with every choice of the characters, because, you know, theater is life, is a replication of life, or a mirror for life. So I won't agree with every choice a character makes in a show, and I won't agree with, you know, everything that they say, but the overall thematic message has to line up with what I agree with or I believe in. And so that's why I ended up not doing Little Shop of Horrors. This wasn't a message that I could find. And so I started to think about other shows that were on my bucket list, and that's how Next to Normal came up. I saw Next to Normal while I was teaching educational theater, and I fell in love with the show. We were able to see a version of it this weekend, and I think that, you know, every director is so different in how they present a show. And so I think that's what makes it fun, that I get to kind of give my own take or my own interpretation of this show. I can make it sparkle in the way that I see fit. And that's another thing for me in doing shows. I'm never like, you know, deciding to do a show just to replicate another director's version of it. I'm always looking to see what message can I pull out of it. What do I see in this show? And so that's the fun part about, you know, directing and choosing which stories I choose to tell. And so that's our process. That's how we come up with, or that's how we decide what shows we want. So one of the things that Vince and I like to make sure that we are doing is supporting other shows. So we're headed out to Theater West End in Sanford, Florida to see Next to Normal. Next to Normal also happens to be the second show that we chose for our season this year. Vince chose FENCES, I chose Next to Normal. And so this is his first time getting to see this show. So that's another reason why we wanted to make sure we get out. I wanted to show him why I love this show so much. So we're headed to Sanford to see Next to Normal. So I told them, like, we like to support other shows. So we're gonna head out to see Next to Normal at Theater West End.
Date night.
Yes.
Support the arts.
Support the arts. Okay. So Vince and I got a call. We got an email today saying that there is someone who wants to interview us regarding fences, and the interview will be on Zoom. So Vince just rushed home from work, and we're getting ready to prepare for this interview.